Do. Whoa, you scared me there. I was just doing a little cruise shopping and oh man, prices are going way up. Maybe we should talk about it. Like right now. All right, roll the intro. Hey, welcome to the Midships channel. I'm Corey, and today there's a new slice of cruise news just waiting here for you. But be careful, it's a little hot this time, so you don't want to burn yourself. Now, you all know I love posing these this or that questions, and yeah, I showed up with another one today, and I think you might have some thoughts on it. So, what is the correct way to pronounce this word? Yep, right here, this one. Go ahead, tell me how you're going to pronounce this. Is it Louisville or is it Louisville? So go ahead, write your answer down in the comments below. Probably the easiest way here is either write Louis or Louis, or maybe there's a third way you want to pronounce it, like Louisville. I don't know. There's so many ways to say it. Okay, I'm glad you all convinced me to do these questions. Now, we do need to dive into the cruise news, and there's no shortage of things we absolutely need to talk about. From new ships and features to a new private island for Royal Caribbean. Yeah, y'all know CocoCay, Perfect Day. Yeah, there's another one we're got to talk about now. So that's pretty cool. And we're going to talk about the rising prices of cruising. Plus, I'll show you how one small cruise line are taking matters into their own hands to send aid to the Ukrainian citizens. That's a cool story. Stick around. It's the very last one we're going to tell today. Wow, there's so much going on. We should probably get started. Oh, but yeah, we also get to talk about J-Lo today. J-Lo. Oh, shoot, you're still there, aren't you? Oops, that's embarrassing. Well, with the launch of the Wonder of the Seas now official, Royal Caribbean is now claiming the royal comeback is behind us, and they are fully back. Save for a few ships, of course, citing the world's greatest vacations have returned. And of course, Wonder of the Seas marks the second brand new ship that the line has launched in just the past 6 months, which is frankly rather impressive. The other cruise ship being Odyssey of the Seas, of course, my favorite cruise ship I've ever sailed on, up to this point at least. So with the new launch behind them, the line is starting to look forward, and they're beginning to talk about some other things that they have in the works, mainly their next ship, the Icon of the Seas, as well as an Oasis Class 6 ship, I assume, plus expansions at CocoCay, like the brand new Hideaway Beach adults only area that they're going to be bringing to the island. There's tons of projects in the works right now for Royal Caribbean is basically what I'm trying to tell you. And it sounds like the brand is really looking to innovate over the next few years with all the news that's coming out recently about some of these new things. And speaking of the Icon of the Seas, Royal Caribbean says they're ready to announce new information about her in the next month or two. So we're going to keep our ears to the ground on that one because we really want to know about this new ship, Icon of the Seas. It's supposed to change the whole game. Royal also noted that several of their ships missed out on receiving planned Royal amplifications during the pandemic, but they say those plans are still in the works. So some of these older ships, I know some of the Oasis class ships even are kind of getting longer in the tooth and need some work done. And that's not the only exciting news coming from Royal Caribbean, as there is another Perfect Day in the works. That's going to be in the Pacific. It's going to be called Perfect Day at Lelepa, I don't know, Lelepa. And it's going to become a reality. However, they're putting a pin in it right now because cruising in the Pacific, specifically cruises from Hong Kong and down in Australia, well, they're not really open. So why have an island if you can't cruise there? Okay, there's big news coming out of Carnival line as well today because it's not only their 50th birthday party, but we're now going to be able to talk about their newest ship, the Carnival Celebration, which is slated to be released sometime this fall. Just like her sister ship, the Mardi Gras, the Celebration will be an astonishing 21 decks tall, and she'll be able to carry about 5,200 passengers. Some notable changes on board the Celebration will be made in the Havana staterooms and in the suites as well. There'll be new interior designs, and also the cabins are supposed to have larger balconies, and some, they say, will even include the addition of a rainfall shower head. I don't know if that's in the bathroom or out on the balcony. that could be a little embarrassing if you're showering out on your, yeah, okay, let's move on. So Carnival just kind of gave us a quick little tease on a few minor changes of note for the celebration. Hopefully in the next few weeks now, with the celebration firmly behind us, the cruise line will be able to release even more information about this brand new ship. You know, they didn't really want to step on the toes of this celebration, even though, let's be real, Wonder of the Seas did that for them. Like, who really talked about the celebration? Not a lot of people. Okay, are you getting excited about setting sail on board the new celebration? I'm really curious about some of these new interior spaces, just to see how some tangible tweaks from the original Mardi Gras design, and I just want to see how they're going to pull it all together. There were definitely some things that didn't quite work out the way that they should have on the Mardi Gras. You guys know I really didn't like the buffet, and I also didn't love that whole center stage seating situation they had going on. So I'm sure Carnival knows about all this. Now, if you're looking for a way to swag out when you get on this brand new Carnival celebration, or any other Carnival ship or Royal ship or any cruise ship for that matter, I recommend checking out my Midships merch store. There's a really cool fun mode shirt in there. I made it up with the Carnival font. It's definitely a cool one if you're a Carnival cruiser. Moving on. So you know how Carnival Cruise Line has their chief fun officer, Shaquille O'Neal? Well, it looks like Virgin Voyages is taking some inspiration from them, because they're now adding Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, as the Chief Entertainment and Lifestyle Officer of the newish cruise line, Virgin Voyages. Virgin is making the move, citing a need for more diversity in the cruise industry. As of now, details are pretty sparse as to the extent of Jennifer's involvement with the cruise line, so we'll have to keep our ears to the ground to see just how much J-Lo we can expect to see on board these Virgin ships in the future. You know, I really wouldn't mind running into Jennifer on board a cruise. Maybe I could finally get that tour of the bridge that I've been dying to have. Are any of you out there watching that could make that happen for me? You know, my DMs are open, right? You can find me on Instagram. It's just Midships Cruise. Yeah, DM me if you could get me in the bridge. And it's kind of funny that we're talking about that, because I've got a question. Have any of you watching this video seen any of the more like off limits area of any cruise ships? I've really been trying to see the cruise ship jail. I've heard stories about it. I've talked to a lot of the security folks on board these cruise ships about what it's kind of like, but I really want to see it without becoming a resident, of course. No one wants to go to cruise jail. Now, with the crisis raging out in Ukraine, major industry experts are starting to talk about fuel surcharges becoming a thing once again on cruises, to the point where Cruise Critic even pointed out that during the 2008 financial crisis, when oil prices topped $100 a barrel, at least 16 cruise lines here in the US added a fuel-related daily surcharge to their cruise fares. These surcharges totaled about $5 to $10 per person per day, although some luxury cruise lines, they charged a little bit more. With that said, a spokesperson for the Royal Caribbean Group claims at this point they're not going to be imposing these fuel surcharges. You know, only time's going to tell about that. Business decisions, they change. And looking through the ticket contracts of other major cruise lines, you'll find that Carnival Cruise Line has the right to impose fuel surcharges of up to $9 per person per day to help spread out the cost of rising prices. And in a similar vein to Carnival, Norwegian Cruise Line, or NCL, they can impose up to $10 per person per day in additional fuel surcharges. So at the end of the day, if we continue to see a hike in fuel prices here on land, these surcharges will most likely be returning to your cruise fare, which may or may not be a huge issue for you, as we're really talking about what a meal at Wendy's costs here per day. But even still, these extra fees will likely cut into onboard spending that would otherwise have taken place, which means the lines may have to look for additional ways to try to recoup the money, in addition to just these fuel surcharges. Yikes, that's a lot of spending. Okay, well, the theme of Alaskan cruise announcements continues this week, as Princess Cruise Line becomes the latest to announce Canadian cruises for 2022. Following the March 7th announcement from Transport Canada that cruising will be allowed, albeit very restrictively, lines like Holland America and Princess are finally able to confirm itineraries to their guests. For the 2022 Alaska program, Princess Cruise Line will bring a total of 6 ships, including their brand new one, the Discovery Princess, and they'll be offering 12 different itineraries, So that's some more great news coming for our friends in Canada, eh? So we're going to pivot and talk about a cruise line that I don't honestly know I've ever mentioned here on the channel. They're pretty small. They're called Fred Olsen Cruise Line. They're doing something really unique, and I want to tell you about it because team members that work for Fred Olsen themselves have self-funded a truck filled with 61 boxes of aid that they're going to send to the people in Ukraine. And here we have a photo of the exact truck being loaded up by some of the team members for Fred Olsen. Wow. I mean, you can see this is like a small grassroots type of situation. I mean, it looks like they just kind of got together on their lunch break and planned it. You can see they've sort of sourced their own personal boxes even. We have everything here from first aid items to children's shoes, women's and babies' clothing, all kinds of things going on here to help the people in Ukraine. And wow, I really love the philanthropic spirit of you folks over there at Fred Olsen Cruise Line. Great job. So if you made it this far into today's episode, why haven't you subscribed to the channel yet? I know you keep coming back here every day. I see it in my analytics. So just subscribe already. Jeez. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. And until next time, we'll see ya on the Midships. La, 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 la.